But I know that in India, there are two ways, two ways to get married. It's either an arranged marriage or what is called a love marriage.
I never thought I would get married.
When you say we started searching for a bride, what do you mean we?
He said just said like I googled your company's name. I didn't find your company in the Google, so I don't think you are a reliable bride.
Whoa. So at what point does it change from oh, like arranged marriage to like, oh, I love this person, right?
I lost four fishes due to some parasite attack, and then I was literally crying.
So some people might say that might be a problem, right? Welcome to Project Alpha. Today's conversation is a little bit different. It is a conversation that I had with a friend of mine called Vikram Jagadeesan, and he lives and resides in India. So the conversation was virtual, and it meant that we had some issues with the audio as well as the video. However, we've been able to get the best part for you. So pay attention and listen because he goes into how he met his wife and then he talks us into how both of them raised their child together. So in India, it's a bit different to what you're used to in the Western culture in terms of trying to find a wife or somebody that you want to commit your life to. So do pay attention and listen and enjoy. Let's move into how you met your wife. I know it's a very interesting story. And I cannot, I cannot wait for people to hear because you have told me once before, maybe not went in depth. In this part of the world,
Yeah.
you tend to either go on a dating app and then you find somebody, or you meet somebody, maybe in church, or meet somebody in a social function, and then you start to talk, and then you fall in love and whatever. But I know that in India, there are two ways, two ways to get married. It's either an arranged marriage or what is called is it a love marriage? So I think that's what it's
Yeah.
called. So it's either a
Yeah.
love marriage or an arranged marriage, which is interesting and fascinating. So which one was you?
Basically, mine is an arranged marriage, but
Okay.
it's a different story. So I never thought I would get married. So I got married like around when I was 32. So since I was 27, we started finding for a bride. We are searching for a bride, and then like we didn't get, like the culture over here. Basically, in South India, we have this horoscope matching and all those stuff. Uh, so
Wait,
mostly this
when you say we started searching for a bride, what do you mean we? More than
we
you?
basically parents would search. So uh, it's not me alone. Like my parents would search. So it's their duty to find a matching bride for their son.
Hmm.
Uh, so they started searching, and like we got few bride proposals, and but the horoscope was not matching, and there were so much of expectations from the bride side, like financial wise, how much the groom is earning and what job it is. And during that time I was into e-commerce, and basically we started an office. uh, it's like what to say, like it's a 100 square feet room with four people. So when we were looking for a bride, the bride's parents would come and visit the office. They say like this is a small office, and we are not sure like financially he will be capable of handling my daughter or
What?
something. So
So
a
it's
lot
a
of
whole investigation. So they physically come to your office. Do they
yeah,
do
they
they
do
go to your
all
house
sort of
too?
investigations. So they come and visit personally, or they'll send a person. Uh, some people, they even like ask for the blood group, and then they match, like they'll find out any medical issues. Do they have
Hmm.
any medical issues and all those stuff? So it's not everyone. It's few people, and there is also an incident like one of I heard like one of the bride's father. We were just trying to contact them, and he just ignored us. He didn't tell like whether it's okay or not. And then I tried to contact them, and he just said like, I googled your company's name. I didn't find your company in the Google, so I don't think you are a reliable bride.
Whoa.
So
Really?
that is the point where we realized, okay, how much important a website is. So we just built a website for the company just for the sake of getting a good bride. So,
Oh man,
so
that's awesome. Oh
yeah,
man, that's if only you knew earlier, you would have had a bride set up, and God knows how you would have got married earlier.
yeah, we would have got a good bigger office. Just did some interiors just to get married. No.
And then after the marriage, you just shrink down the office,
Yeah,
take the
move back
website
to a
down.
small office. Yes.
So
So,
how did you meet your wife?
so it was the hunt was going like about for 5 years. So at 32, like my parents got fed up, and then we have this community.
Hmm.
So there are different communities. So there will be an association for each community. So in that association, like they will have the bride's profile and groom's profile. Like whomever needs, they can go and look the profiles and then match it. So they got fed up. My parents went to that association, and then they met the head and they said like it's been 5 years we are searching, we didn't get a good bride. And that is where like that head like he showed my wife's a photo, and he said like she has only the guardian, so no parents, so she's been taken care by so and so, and if you're okay, like you can just get married, they don't have any assets or something. And my parents, they brought it to me, they asked me, I said okay, I like it. Then we just went to their house, we met them, and she also liked me. And then that is how like everything got arranged, and then we got married. So basically it's an arranged marriage, and we started loving after the marriage. And
But
so
what it's sort of a solution to some level to the superficial things that you see today in terms of marriage. I mean, you guys have been together since then, all through these years, because you're not looking at necessarily just the physical, right? Because in today's
yeah,
age and the Western world, it's more about what does he look like, what does she look like, and then a lot of the decision is based off of that. And then you get into the marriage, and then you have broken homes, you divorce, and all of that. Whereas in the arranged marriage approach, it's more about your background, what your family is like, what your values are like, and if those things align, then
yeah,
it's sort of setting up the foundation for a good home. Would you agree?
yeah, I agree 100%. But here like it the what to say, like different people have different sort of like mindsets.
Hmm.
So physically, if a bride is so attractive, still they look for the background, and if it is not, like okay, they ignore it. And there are like it's people's mindset, and if they see like the bride is attractive, they don't look for the financial things and what is the background of the bride. They still say okay. And few people, if they have good financial background, they don't see physically good looking they are. They still get married because they have good assets, and then their future is well settled. So it depends on the mindset of the people, uh, like what is their need and what they're looking for,
Mm.
basically. But but like yeah, when we look for a bride, it's the good values, what is her education background, and how how far she has understood the values of being a family is what I basically looked at. uh, but it changes to people by people, so it's not the same for everyone.
Right. I mean, then my next question would then be, how do you transition from an arranged marriage where you don't really know this person? I mean, the first time that you saw her was when? The wedding day?
No, we first we I saw in the photo, then we'll arrange for a meetup, like meeting with the elders. Then we will wait for their answers whether they're okay or not, and we'll just come up with our answers. And then if there are any queries, like the elder people will sit and talk. They'll
Hmm.
resolve the queries. They will find out the backgrounds, and like until they get satisfied uh, about both the families. This keeps going on, and then everything is okay. They'll fix a date. Then they will do the engagement, and then they will fix a date for the marriage, and then
But
marriage goes.
do you get to see her during this negotiation?
Yeah, of course, we used to meet them. So it usually happens. We exchange mobile numbers. We just talk to each other. Uh, but this thing, until we think like it's 100% confirmed, like we start talking like more personally. Why do I say is that any point this might get stopped, and then if even before that, like if you start talking to your partner like more personally, and it's hard to get rid of them, like when nothing goes well. So I basically preferred like, okay, let's have a space between until everything is confirmed. So then once everything is confirmed, then we started meeting each other. Then we just went out like for purchase, for shopping, and choosing the invitation and other stuff.
Right. Okay. And
On the
yeah.
funny side, you asked me like whether you physically you get attracted and how it goes. Basically, on the funny note, I'm just saying it's not for everyone. Just on the funny note, so when we are at 27 and 28, we just look. Our partner should be physically attractive. We don't look anything else. So if she is like physically attractive, we say okay. But like 27, 28, 29 has passed. When it comes to 30, and what we think is okay, it's enough if she's less attractive. We need to get married. And when you cross 30, 31, 32, you'll say at least we need a bride, no matter how physically attractive. So
I'm sure that wasn't the case for you.
not 100%, maybe 75 to 80%. Yeah.
I, I hope she's not hearing you. um, I have no, but I have to ask though, right? So, at what point does it change from oh, marriage to like arranged marriage to like oh, I love this person, right? Because at first you barely knew each other, then you get married, and then you have to spend the rest of your life together. You build a family. At what point did it switch to say I love this person?
No, the point like we met them and we agreed like okay, I like her, and when we fix our mind, okay, she's going to be my partner for lifelong, like coming years.
Hmm.
She's gonna be the one who is going to take care of me. It's absolutely the mindset of the people. Then we get married, we start living together, and then we tend to see them how they are taking care of us, how affectionate they are to us towards us. So these things, it keeps you, it makes you to love them, start loving
Hmm.
them more and more. And like everyone will have an expectations like okay, my marriage life should be like this sort of a thing. So at some point when these expectations are getting fulfilled, you'll start loving your partner so much. And in turn, like we must also give uh, satisfy their expectations as well. Like they too have some expectations. My partner should be so and so. He should be this caring, and he should fulfill these set of needs. And we also need to understand our partner and try to fulfill their needs as well. So mutually, like it'll be a good happiness between both of them.
Okay. And what you then had how many years later did you have your first and only daughter?
So we planned like not to have a baby for a year. So
Did that work out as planned?
yes, it did work out.
Okay.
Uh, that doesn't mean like we were not together. It's we use some precautionary measures still,
Of course.
but we are newly married, so we cannot stop that thing.
Of
Um,
course.
so So then she got conceived, but unfortunately, the first baby got aborted when she was like 4 months. She had this PC, some some sort of issue during pregnancy, so it got aborted. And then, like after 6 to 7 months, again she got pregnant. So it's almost like after 2 years, 2.5 years, we got our daughter,
Mm.
and her name is Shashna, and now she's 5 years old.
Oh wow. And how was it? How was the feeling when you lost the first one?
Um, like it was hard, but my wife, she was so much depressed, but I need to be strong to again make her to be strong. So I was strong. I just kept giving her confidence not to worry about, and uh, this is not the begin. This is not the end. So we still have so many years to go, and we still have age. And I just started like encouraging her, and she just came out of depression, and everything was fine. But it was hard, like missing. I'm not sure whether it's a boy or a girl, whatever it's a baby. So it was so hard, like
Mm.
we missed that one, that baby.
Well, did you feel that you had to be did you feel like you had to hold yourself together and not express your emotions as you would have, just so that at least not both of you are not as depressed? Because sometimes I think those are expectations of a man, um, where I mean, this might be stereotypical and it might not be largely correct, but I do feel like, based on personal experiences, that the women are usually a lot more emotionally
Yeah,
sound, and they get emotional. And not that men don't get emotional, actually, men do get emotional, but we've always been taught to be able to control that emotion and think of things quite objectively. And sometimes it can be a problem. So did you feel like you had to hold yourself together for the benefit of you and her?
yeah, I have to do that because she was down. Literally, she was down. She was crying all day, and it doesn't make sense like me sitting aside her and start crying. So I just need to hold all my emotions. I need to just keep saying to her like not, like still there are many miles to go, and this
Mm-hmm.
is not just the end, and we just need to be strong. And uh, like something has been written already. I believe more about the fate. So this we don't deserve this baby is what like God has thought. So there is something better than this is what he would have thought. So
Yeah,
we just need to move on from that situation. And
yeah.
yeah, of course, like men, I'm still like I'm emotionally, like I'm so much emotional. Like say like I lost like four of my fish like 2 days before. I was growing for a year, almost year or two. I lost four fishes due to some parasite attack, and then I was literally crying when I saw those four fish died. I didn't even know, like morning when I was feeding them, they were so good, and evening suddenly
uh,
like four, they were not there, and I started crying, and my wife came. Okay, don't get emotional. It happens, and it's really hard to grow this pet. So I'm that sort of so emotional, but we need to learn to control our emotions as well. Like when it affects other people, we need to be strong, and we need to encourage them. So it we need to act according to the situation. It's not like I'm emotional, I need to get emotional every time.
mm, very interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. So you both cannot be emotional at the same time because who is going to pull who up, right?
Yes.
And I think that's the case. So there are times when you are a bit more emotional, and then she's able to encourage you, and there are times when she is more emotional, and then you sort of are able to encourage her. No, that's good. Is would you then say that's how your marriage works, in a sense that you have those roles, or do you have specific roles basically in the house?
Um, it's not specific roles. um, we share things, so we know like what our responsibilities are, and it doesn't mean like I need to earn and she needs to do the household work, or vice versa. So we both have our own financial requirements, like spendings, and I don't mind she spending my money, because I have given her my credit cards, and she's open to spend whatever she like. And she also understood what are her limits, and she also understand like what struggles I'm undergoing in terms of my job and other stuff. And like understanding is the best thing, like we understand each other, and in case she's down, like I used to help her in the household work, and it's a mutual understanding between each other. It's not like I'm doing this stuff and you need to do this stuff. It's like we share things without even communicating each other. So we just need to understand, that is where the understand plays a major role. And this comes out of maturity, maybe. Like at young age we start like helping each other because we are newly married, we just want to impress our partner and we do a lot of stuff. But after like 5 years, 10 years, if you're continuing with the same stuff, doing the same stuff like as you were newly married, as like you are newly married, that is where the happiness of a marriage life lies, and that's the success of the marriage life.
So when you say doing the same stuff, what do you mean doing the same stuff?
Now, when you're newly married, we try to impress our partner. Say, like, we don't allow them to do any sort of work. We just pop in, we do all the work. We'll make them to sit idle and watch what we are doing. We just make them happy. See, I'm helping you, this stuff, that stuff. But that doesn't go for long, because we cannot do that for long. Like,
Mm.
we have commitments and we just need to run for some other thing. But still, after 5 years, 10 years, if you're continuing the same stuff, she has understood, okay, he's busy and I just need to take care of these things. And basically in my part, like my wife understood, like I am basically busy like running behind financial things, and she's 100% taking care of my daughter. And my daughter doesn't feel like, okay, missing my dad. Of course she would at some point, but every day, she doesn't miss me a lot, because her mom is taking care of good care of her. So this is what the marriage success is, like
But
understanding each other.
yeah, understanding each other. But has it always been like that, or would you say your marriage is a bit unique? Because I know from my heritage, there is a role for a woman and then a role for a man. And usually, the role for the woman is to be at home and stay at home wife, do the cooking, um, and take care of the kids, make the babies, that kind of stuff. And then the man's role is usually outside of the house, work, bring in the income, and then come home and eat, relax, that kind of stuff. Is it the same in India? Um,
It
when you
is the same.
is
It
this
was the same, I would say, but in early days, until people were born like before 80s, this was the mindset.
Mhm.
People like women have a role to take care of the family, just to do the household work and stay at home. And now between generation, after 80 and 2000, our mindset, like we have seen both the generations. I mean, the elder people, like how they treated women, and the younger age how they are treating the women now. So we are in between age, and we have adapted to it easily. So this generation, we adapted. Okay, women doesn't have any limits. They can go, they can do whatever they like. Uh, and it's gender equality is there, obviously. But
Yeah, but
now this generation, what they think is, they want both of them to go for work. Even if they had kids, they need to go to work, because they want to be financially stable and individually stable. It's not for the family. So they want themselves to be stable financially, and they, so that they don't depend on their partner, is what their mindset is. But not everyone, but I would say like 30 to 40% of people, younger generations mindset is this, because I've seen so many people, like sharing these things with me.
But what do you think of that mindset? Um, where because there's that mindset that it's my money, it's not our money. It's and I think you said it perfectly there. Usually, you're trying to keep yourself financially free, so you're not dependent on your partner. What I think what you have done is you built a family values and lifestyle where everything is shared, almost like how you grew up, right? Everything
Yeah.
is transparent. We help each other. There's no specific roles. I'm pretty sure that there's some things that maybe your wife does more of and you do more of, but it's not necessarily set in stones that no, this is your job and this is my job. It's sort of this community within your family, your nuclear family. But
Uh,
what do you think of that mindset? Like you've experienced both generations. You've experienced the ones where there are specific roles in the home for a woman and for the man, and then where it's not as specific anymore. Which do you think is better? And what do you think?
uh, I would say like my generation thing is the better one. Like sharing things, so whatever it is, like financially, the happiness or the struggles, like it's all like it should be a sharing. Like
Hmm.
end of the day, it's being a family. That the meaning of the family is that like we share everything.
Mm.
But like being financially independent, like I don't want to depend on some other person. Like at one point, like the ego builds up. Say I'm earning more than you and you are earning, and why should I depend on you? And like it builds up. Like at one point, the ego builds up between each other. Then arises the misunderstanding. And like if you prefer something and if your partner prefers something else, and there comes a clash, and we
Yeah.
think like I can afford myself, and why should I depend on you? But basically family doesn't work in that way. So that doesn't mean a family. And we don't want to get married to lead a life in such way. So it's like we can be independent, so we don't need a baby, or it's basically living together is fine. uh, this generation, like people, they need to understand what is the meaning of being a family. So and end of the day, when you get older, and who is gonna take care of you? It's only your partner,
Mm.
or like it depends on how we grow our kid. So our kid will take care or not. So and basically that is the point. We need to understand like what's the meaning of a family, being a family.
Yeah. And to you, that is basically being in a partnership and putting family first. Would you say that? Because I know that you worked a lot. You worked long hours in the past. Maybe not as long today, but when you had a kid and then managing business, managing over 70 people that you had as staff, how did you
Yeah.
do that? How did you balance the time, balance the commitments, and make sure that your family still stays prioritized?
um, that was really hard. So I've been a workaholic, to be frank. So I've been a workaholic. I used to like sharp 9:30. I would be in the office. Then I would leave around like 7:30. Come back home at 8, and I would spend just 1 hour or two with my family. And so basically, the full time I would spend is on the weekends. Weekends probably the two on Sundays. It was hard for me managing, but my wife, she understood like why I'm running. So we just now want to uh, build an asset for us, for ourselves. So we got married, so we had planned something. We need a house, we need to buy an asset or something. So we just understood each other, and she understood like, okay, I'm running behind my job, like for the work. It's because I need to earn more, I need to build an asset, and I need to build an asset for my family. It's not for myself. And she was so supportive in that. She was taking care of the baby, and not even a single day she has asked like you haven't spent time with me or my daughter, because she understood the struggles like what I'm going through. And whenever I get time, like I used to spend more time with my family, with my kid daughter. So we used to capture videos, together, photos, and then we just hang outside. And as for when I made sure, like when I'm being with them, so they are so happy. So that is what my priority was before. But still, work is also another thing I just need to manage and financially get stable, because my father, he didn't have any sort of assets. Hasn't built any assets. It's the assets what we are having now is all earned by ourselves. So we just need to run. And then my relatives, few of them are good rich. So we had a thought like we have to be like them, so to earn more money and to get rich. But still, we just need to balance the work and the life. I think I managed to balance it, and this question needs to be asked to my wife, so she will answer. She will have a good answer.
I mean, one thing that you did say was that the time that you spent with them, you maximized the time to make sure that they felt like you were there and they felt like you were
Yes,
present. Um,
yes.
I mean,
I
someone
I
once.
I also had a thought like my daughter, she should not feel lonely, like she should not miss me. So my wife has to take care of her in that way. Like even if I'm not there for a couple of days, my daughter should not miss me. Uh,
Hmm, how did
I'm
she do
sure like
that?
I'm sure like my wife has taken care of her so much. Even if I'm like uh, going on a vacation with my friends for 2 or 3 days, she will able to manage uh, with my daughter. And even she doesn't care like my dad is here or not. So she is happy with her mother. They go outing, they go to the playhouse, they spend the whole day on that. So eventually, like the time she remembers me is only before sleeping. She'll do a video call and speak with me like 15-20 minutes, and then they'll go to sleep. So if that happens, men will have a freedom to run behind the financial things, to build a stable, good financial foundation for the family.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that she does it in a way where your daughter doesn't miss you during the day, right? How does she
Yeah.
do that?
She like 24 by 7. Apart from the school time, she's with her only. Like taking care, like feeding her, like playing with her. And if she sketches something, she'll sit next to her and she'll uh, talk with her, keep talking, like, okay, do this way, you just need to put this color and different things. And if she wanted to play some dice, and she sit together, they will play dice. She'll go walking with her. She'll
Hmm,
take her walking around during the evening. They'll go to terrace, they'll do some walking. So she's completely like 24 by 7. She's with her. And even my daughter, she can live without me, but she cannot live without her mom. Not even like an hour or two. So that is good for me actually. So I can just I can run behind, like there is also an age for us. We cannot run beyond like 50 or something behind the financial things. We just need to build something before we get into 45 or 50.
hmm.
So this has given me a good time to focus on my job, to earn more money, and get financially stable.
Awesome. Um, I mean, because some people might say that that might be a problem, right? When your daughter is not missing you, and your daughter probably feels like they don't need you in that sense. How do you balance? I know that you've already said that during the weekends you spend the most time with them and make sure that they feel your presence there.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that you still want your daughter to know who you are. You still want your daughter um, to know that this is daddy, right? Every day of the week.
No, it doesn't mean she 100% she doesn't miss me, but when her mom scolds her or shouts at her, the first thing, she'll come and complains to me, like mom has bit me, or like mom has scolded me. In that way, she still remembers me. Okay, my dad is there, so always at any time, even 100% he's not with me, but still he's there uh, to safeguard her is what her
Mhm.
priority. thought is. Like, I have a daddy, like whatever it is, I need to go and share with him whenever I see him, is what her thought is. So when I
Mm.
come home, she's so happy. She just want to spend some time with me. She just tell her whole day story, like what has happened. And then like mom has scolded me, and she has used these words. Is what she particularly mentions that, and she shouted and she tried to beat me, and her mother also starts complaining, and she was talking this, she bet me, and that's the reason I just came to beat her. And like both will turn into kids, and then they'll start complaining to me. So that's so happy, when you sit together with them, hear those stuff. And I used to shout my wife in front of her, and that's a small kind of an happiness for my daughter. And my wife also knows, like, okay, I'm just shouting at her for what reason, just to make her happy. So it's not 100% she'll miss me, but she knows, like, dad is there, and then she likes me a lot anyway, like more than her mother, she likes me a lot, but she's spending more time with my wife. But when you go and ask her, we used to train her. If someone asks whether you like your dad or mom, and you just need to tell them, I like both. You shouldn't tell like I like my mother or like my dad.
Mm.
And she's following that. If someone asks whom do you like, she says, I like both.
Yeah. So it has come to my attention that about 80% of people that watch our videos on this channel have not actually subscribed. And I'm asking myself, why? Why have you not subscribed? And I don't see any reason why not. There's no reason not to. So if you're one of those 80%, do me a favor, click on that subscribe button right now and turn on that notification, because you want to be the first person to receive a notification whenever we post a video. All right. Enjoy the video. Also subscribe. It goes a long way. We are motivated by everyone who interacts and engages on this channel. So do it. Do it now.